All right, Tom. How are you today?
Great. We rolling?
We are rolling.
All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
That's right.
Oh no, we've been rolling.
A little bit about who you are, what you do.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm an entrepreneurial business coach.
What inspired the idea was when I first originally started writing my book, I envisioned it where I get on all sorts of clientele that come in my chair, and I get to hear the most amazing stories from every individual person. And I feel like, I interview people every day, all day, every 30 minutes. So the idea came about of being able to interview the everyday people of everyday life, and just finding the ordinary, beautiful people and finding out what they're unique and special in, because we're all special and we're all talented in something.
So I help entrepreneurial businesses of about 10 to 500 people just get everything they want out of their business.
Nice. How did you start
On that?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'd say probably my entrepreneurial career started probably when I was about 5th grade. I was like, was the youngest of 7, so we didn't have a lot of money. So I started welding carts and motorized carts and tricycles in my family garage for myself and my friends. And from there,
A young entrepreneur.
yeah.
I love it. That's me too.
So from there, I just then, to pay my way through college, I started rebuilding engines and flipping cars. Out of college, I ran a couple software startups and exited those successfully. They were both about 15 million in revenue each.
Nice.
So that's where I just carried the entrepreneurial bug, but I made enough money and had enough freedom then that I went to work for corporate America in some senior leadership positions. But I kind of kept the theme. I just specialized in business operations and business operations strategy. I also realized that after a number of years in corporate America, that just wasn't for me. So I returned to my entrepreneurial roots, and that's when I kind of picked up this coaching
Position.
coaching
Tom, what do you
position.
think? Just this much?
Yeah, about that.
Everywhere?
That's good. Yeah, I don't think I need a whole lot off of there.
No.
Just enough.
Perfect. It's kind of like the split ends and stuff.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of the weight, I think, too.
I'll take a little bit of the weight.
Yeah.
So, entrepreneur at a young age.
Yeah.
So,
So, go ahead.
if you were to tell somebody to start on their dream, how would you tell somebody to?
Yeah.
Okay, how would you kickstart somebody?
I think, the big discovery for me is just aligning the work, what I did, with my passion, right? That saying, when you do what you love doing, it's no longer work anymore.
I agree. You can do it for free.
Yeah, you can do it for free. And I think for a while in my life, I was just thinking it was about money. If I earned enough money, I'd be happy. But it just didn't work out to be true. So, probably, probably be in my early 50s. I had an opportunity to take stock of where I was in my life,
Okay.
think about what I was passionate about, and then aligned my work, which is helping other business leaders run successful businesses, which is my passion for helping other people just be more successful.
Helping people.
That's when I
in their
made the
passion.
transition. Yeah.
I think is key. Passion. I feel like passion is everything. If you don't have passion in what you're doing,
You don't, yeah.
It's kinda
it's going to be a challenge.
it truly is. It's almost like the inner child that has this passion that you want to in a sense do.
Yeah. And so many people pick a career without being mindful or actually doing the front end work, which is what do they really find enjoyable?
Okay. Do you find helping people and really enjoyable?
Yeah, it's extremely enjoyable. So let's say I've got 15 clients, 15 businesses, Each of those, let's say I'm working with their leadership team, so there's 5 people per business. So, it's about 70, 80 people. You're impacting their businesses, and the businesses, let's say on average, are about 20 to 50 people. So you can see how that starts to like exponentially increase the impact that you're having on your community, and that's not even including their families, right?
That's true. I was just about to say that. You took it right out of my mouth. Because you're not just impacting them, but you're impacting their families. And their well-being and stuff like that. So I totally understand that.
And ultimately, you're coaching on them just, the same thing that you practiced on yourself is how are they going to run more extraordinary businesses, which gives them the freedom to live more extraordinary lives, right?
Very true. So you're not one to keep the sauce for himself, is what you're saying. You like to share the sauce.
Absolutely. And that's where the joy and actually reward comes in, honestly.
I agree with you. I kind of, I grew up, my dad kind of had the different mentality. He never wanted to share the secret sauce with anybody, and he wanted everybody to go through the hardships to learn the secret sauce. Was his way of teaching you the secret sauce.
Well, that's good coaching practice.
I don't know about that.
However, if you give them enough, you need to give them some guidance so that they know what to do differently, right?
It's true.
And then let them struggle to learn. But without the guidance, lots of people, they're lost with regards to what to do.
It's very true.
So your dad might have had it right. You might have interpreted it as you were having to struggle like, everything, but he might have been giving you guidance that you might not have been listening to.
Well, it's not that he's given not just me the same advice, but he's given other family members the same ones and wanted them to be in the same shoes.
Yeah.
But he still made the same choice after being given the opportunity to make a different one.
Yeah.
So technically, he's like, instead of doing something different or learning something, he went back into his comfort zone of what he knew best in a sense.
Yeah.
And that to me is not really ever growing.
You kind of got at some point you get stuck in your ways.
Yeah.
Versus constant, continuous learner for life, right?
Yeah. And I do truly believe like the best teachers are the best students, and the best students are the best teachers, because you got to be both in order to truly grow. You can't be one without the other. Yeah.
We got to say, you got to be open-minded. Because for our leadership teams, and walk them through the process of all the great things in your organization. Congratulations, you're responsible for that, and everything that's not working, that's dysfunctional. Congratulate, you're also responsible for everything that's not working.
It's very true, because you are as strong as your weakest
link
kind of thing, right?
Yeah. But very a minority of business leaders are of that kind of open-mindedness. It's not a majority.
You don't think so?
No.
It's a little less than 1%.
Because you get to a point where business leaders feel that they're successful, and so they think they've got it nailed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're talking about your dad. I mean, he was successful at some point in his life, and practices that he had, they worked for him, and so, he repeated them over and over again, right?
I agree, and he didn't really grow from them. I mean, it's like he grew maybe in certain parts, but a lot, he's still made the same mistakes in a sense. And then, in today's time, one thing I told him was like, you really got to have a digital footprint in today's time.
Yeah.
Because when he first originally started in his time,
didn't have
it was more word of mouth. But
Yeah.
today's word of mouth is the digital footprint, and that's the word of mouth in a sense.
Yeah.
One sec.
And it does kind of depend on your business though, right?
True.
So like the coaching business that I'm in, word of mouth still is really important because CEOs or owners of businesses like yourself, when they're onto a great idea, generally just don't go out and look for somebody to implement it cold. They look for referrals, right?
It's true.
So who knows someone that's done this and has done a great job, because that's who I want.
I agree.
So for us, it's a lot of our business, most of it is word of mouth. By people just like you.
It's very true. You found me by word of mouth, in a sense.
Yeah, I did.
So I totally understand the concept of word of mouth. The mouth definitely does spread a lot of things that we do want to spread and don't want to spread.
Yeah. So what would you say as a business owner yourself? What would you say the top learnings for you have been? Like top 3 or 5, whatever.
Mine would be I would have taken more chances on myself,
Yeah.
like more risks on myself. I would have invested more in myself in a sense. And let's see, second would be value my opinion more than others in a sense, because sometimes when I was making a decision, I allowed other people's opinions get the best of mine.
Yeah, versus running on your own instincts and knowledge.
Exactly.
Discrediting yourself to some extent.
Yeah, when you know what the right decision was, and you kind of second guess yourself because of either like you valued somebody's opinion in a sense.
Yeah.
I would have probably like.
Do you think that's just maturity in a sense, though, right?
Yeah.
Everyone kind of goes through that cycle of like maybe building confidence over time, and until you have that confidence that you can do it,
true.
Leaning on other people for advice.
100%. Like I don't mind taking advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you're second guessing the advice itself, because now you've heard, it's like the concept of like when you feel like it's right to move on a step, right? But you hear too much loud noise in a sense around, so you hesitate to even take that step. Yeah. Even though you already heard one opinion of what needs to be done, now you have extra chatter on the sidelines in a sense.
Creating fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Exactly, and that does happen to everybody.
Yeah. That's what voice you want to listen to, right?
Exactly. How was the overall length on the?
I think it's good.
On the top.
I'm
gonna taper a little bit in the back first, and maybe a little bit more off the sideburns.
Okay.
But other than that, what do you think?
We'll try it. Just wanted a little weight off the top, so if you take too much, then it's going to stand up. But what do you think? Or not blend in with the size?
No, I agree. I think I took a pretty good amount. Plus, I textured a little bit too.
Yeah.
So it gives it a nice volume and
cool
in your hair. But so if you were to go back, let's say if you were to go back and change one thing, what would you change?
I probably would have stayed, rather than working for corporate America, I would have continued to run my own startups, my own business ventures. Because ultimately it's just, I like being my own boss, calling my own shots.
Of course.
And the upside potential for that risk as your own business owner is huge. And if you think of being capped in corporate America, you can only make so much money, working for somebody else. It might be 2, 3, 400,000. I mean, some, CEOs are working, maybe collecting a few million. But as a business owner, it's like you could think, you're making 10, 15 million.
The sky's the limit.
20, 30% of that is take home.
Yeah.
And you're your own boss, like calling your own shots. Like,
yeah.
Who doesn't want that?
I totally agree. Well, that's why I kind of like being my own boss.
Yeah.
I've always been in a position of being my own boss or making my own decisions and stuff like
take a little more risk, but the upside, the gain is like huge, right?
It's true.
And then if you build a business that can run itself, you basically build an annuity stream that you don't even have to be there. You can be like, on vacation 24/7 while your staff runs your business. So putting the right people in the right seats to run your business for you. So ultimately you have an annuity stream. That's the ultimate.
Is that kind of where you're at right now, or?
No, I wish I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So as I coach, I have to be there to coach. So I'm kind of like constrained by my own limited hours.
Hours, of course, yeah.
I mean, I do okay. Yeah, I do well, and I enjoy what I'm doing, but, It'd be nice if I could scale, but
Why do you enjoy it so much?
it's just helping other people. Basically, it's business coaching, but ultimately, if you're running a successful business, the rest of your life is so much better as well. You know, if you can run your business on 20 hours a week with staff in place and you're successfully growing and ramping your business and making profit, it's all that free time you got. Plus peace of mind.
Yeah. And you just feel good every day.
You feel good. And if you can help people feel good, like what goes around comes around.
Karma. That's very
Yeah.
true. I totally agree.
It's a fun gig.
Yeah. I try to help out people all the time. I did have an Uber driver that told me one time like the most selfish thing you could ever do to someone or for anyone is gifting to someone, because it brings you more joy gifting someone. It's
It's more personal for you,
because
the giver.
Yeah, because you get more of the pleasure out of giving the
Out
gift
of giving.
than actually receiving the gift.
And then the receiver becomes dependent in a sense off of the gift because they didn't have to earn it.
Yeah and no, but it was more like she was just more saying like it was a selfish act for the giver.
Selfless act. Oh.
Like it wasn't selfless, because I told her
That's an interesting way to look at it.
because I was like, there's a selfless act to give a gift, you know what I mean? And she's like, no, that's a selfish. She's like, it's selfish to give a gift. I was like, how does that make sense? She's like, well, does giving a gift bring you the joy? And I was like, yeah, of course it does. She's like, well, then it's a selfish thing because you're looking at it as giving yourself pleasure to give a gift to someone, is how she explained it to me. And I was just like, wow. I was like, I never put it in that terms. It's like, then it is kind of.
She didn't want to tip you, did she?
No, I was the one tipping her in a sense. Like it was the other way around.
So you took the tip back?
No, of course I tipped her.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean? I still
That
gave
was just for your own gain.
I still gave the gift of giving. You know what I mean?
And she still took it.
For sure, she did.
Wow, that's contrary. She should have given it back to you. Told you how selfish you were.
I know.
I don't know if I go with the logic, but
It was kind of
it's someone else's opinion.
for sure, but it was just kind of an interesting outlook on it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because like in some ways, like I get more pleasure giving a gift than receiving a gift.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of like understood where she was coming from.
Yeah.
Because it brought me more joy giving a gift than receiving it, in a sense.
Okay.
I'm guessing you're the opposite. You like receiving gifts than giving.
I don't know. I'm thinking through the logic of sometimes why I have a hard time giving. I guess I'm being generous then. I can't let go of that iPad for Christmas. I would just be selfish if I gave my wife an iPad. I should just keep it.
You could
I'd be more generous.
I mean, you could give her the lesser version of the iPad and keep the higher version for yourself.
It's a win-win.
It is. She still gets something. She just won't up you. It's too funny.
So how are your other business ventures going?
Really good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of my most funnest one, I would say, just because we get to like really like capture people's like real stories. We get to capture people itself.
Yeah.
And then I also get to like reflect back on it, which is kind of nice. Cause like sometimes he'll send me like the edits, like to watch the edits and stuff, and I'll be like, oh man, this is pretty funny. And I was like, I can't believe I said that, or I can't believe that, like, you know.
Well, you should have been videoing our last haircut, because that was a pretty good one. Saucy
True.
one. Yeah.
True. But I always say like every conversation with me is kind of interesting, because it's like I like to really dive into people.
Yeah.
And I really get to like dive into people's like personal psyche, if you think about it. And I get like 30 minutes of their time, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
So, and there's no escape.
Yeah.
In my chair.
And you're pretty good at cracking people open and like.
It's
right?
very true.
Based on the stories you've told me.
It's very true. I was telling you about the story about the puppy.
Uh huh.
It's
Has he heard the story?
I don't think he has. Did I ever tell you about the puppy story about the guy that like dressing up as like a dog, and then at home he like
That's how he lived his
like,
life.
Like he like lived his life as a dog. So like he ate out of like a dog kennel when he was at home, and he believed like he had doggy brothers, and he wrote a convention with his doggy brothers and being a leash.
And his wife was his master or whatever?
No,
his girlfriend or wife?
I think there was a male master.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Very complicated.
It was an interesting conversation.
And we never got in that part. I just made an assumption.
There's a male master.
Okay.
You are right though. We do have really great conversation. How's that look?
That's good.
Hair wise, I'm gonna shave your neck and anything like that.
All right, and then gel it down maybe.
I can.
It's
Yes,
getting a little
sir.
fluffy again.
For sure.
My hair is getting like.
You want me to trim the
really
eyebrows,
light.
ears, anything like that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Hey, man, enjoy it that you have that, you know?
The fluffiness.
Dude, he's got way more hair than I do. I could ever have. That's for sure. I'm a little jealous.
Well, I get people challenging me on my age.
Why you say that?
I just don't believe how old I am when I tell them.
Well, because of your hair.
Yeah, probably in part.
You're what?
Well, how old are you?
55.
I'm approaching 62.
Okay.
61.
Nice. Definitely look good for 61.
Yeah, I ought to sell my own hair product, huh?
I mean, you can. I don't see why not. You definitely got the GQ look.
Tom's hair product right here.
It's right.
$1,000 a bottle.
I mean, you do definitely got the like like I said, like the GQ model face. You know. I can definitely see you in Hollywood.
Yeah, my biking buddies nicknamed me Hollywood.
Did they?
Yeah,
That's funny.
my Harley riding brothers.
I love that.
Probably
I
in
actually
part
I
'cause I
want
dress like.
to learn how to ride a Harley.
Yeah,
Or just ride a
very
bike.
fun.
You know?
Right, there's one right over there.
I mean, those are scooters, to be honest with you.
That's where you start. You got to start somewhere.
I'm definitely starting there because I definitely got one of those. Unfortunately, it only goes up to 30 miles per hour.
You need to get some Christmas videos of you riding that around with the little red ribbon on it.
With the Santa beard and everything like that. For the holidays, I could definitely totally see myself doing that.
So you
All
got
the-
the Santa hat on.
All the ladies go crazy for the scoots.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't mind creating a video with a whole bunch of scooters. Like what's his name created a whole bunch of scooters with Macklemore created a whole bunch of videos with like what are those scooters with in France that they ride. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The mopeds?
The is it the mopeds?
Where you sit?
Yeah.
They have little,
Yeah.
mopeds, yeah.
Yep. I do like the natural stories, the real stories.
Yeah, what is your story as a kid growing up?
I got beat as a kid, but I really did. That's why I'm so great.
Discipline. Yeah.
For sure. I don't believe kids today get beat enough, but a lot of kids don't want to agree with me in today's time.
And where were you?
So I was born in Uzbekistan in Tashkent,
Uh-huh.
which it was a part of Russia at the time.
Yeah.
Which now is its own country.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own like Uzbeki language as well.
Yeah.
My grandparents do speak it. I kind of understand a little bit of it.
Uh-huh.
I don't speak it myself. I speak somewhat fluent Russian. I do not read it.
To what age did you move from there?
I was about 5.
5?
So and then we moved to New York, and
Your dad and mom? Biological?
Yeah.
Dad and mom?
Yep. They're not together anymore.
Yeah.
But America ruined them.
How so?
It gave them the American freedom of having choice.
Oh,
But that's okay.
I see. Whereas
Where like
from the old country, they
there
just
was
had to
no
work
choice.
together and,
Yeah, there
and
was
to
no
make it work.
choices. Yes, sir.
They chose to get married, though, yeah?
I mean,
Or is it
I think
like
it was chosen for them.
chosen?
They were kind of like my mom even says it to this day. She's like, I didn't even want to pick your dad, Like, like, okay. I was like, but you did, thank God, because I'm here.
Yeah.
You know? But
So she accepted, did she have a choice in accepting the,
the marriage,
yeah.
I think so, because I think it was like between my dad and this other guy, and I think my dad was the better looking one between the two. So yeah,
Yeah?
not a bad story.
And so then he was a little hard on you, huh?
My dad,
Yeah.
uh,
Was it your dad that, when you said you were
I was,
disciplined or beat? Or?
no, my mom I think was more the disciplinary.
Yeah.
My dad was more the. He tried to be more of like the guy that listened and tried to show up in a sense. And
Yeah.
my mom
Was the
more,
nice guy?
Well, yeah, my dad was more to try to be the nice guy in a sense.
Uh-huh.
My mom was more the disciplinary in the house.
So she made you who you are then?
I would say so,
A stronger imprint on your,
for sure.
Personality.
Definitely a harder shell
yeah.
to be able to hear a conversation and not have any emotion to a conversation without having any judgment to a conversation, which is, I think, really powerful because a lot of people say they can hold a conversation and hear a conversation, but they allow their emotions and ego get in the way of the conversation to where they're not listening
Yeah.
because they're more focused on the hand gestures or the tone of the voice than actually hearing the voice itself or the words that are coming out of the voice itself. So yeah, I kind of, because of all the loud noise around me, I was able to have a voice as well, kind of thing.
So you think you're a good listener?
For sure, I think so. I think that's what kind of, that's what me and you kind of talked about, is like
Yeah.
where people are able to open up to me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is because like I know how to pause and listen and wait instead of just kind of like cutting them off and talking in a sense.
Your own agenda?
Yeah.
You're more open to learning?
Learning, hearing, because I'm also intrigued too, because
Yeah.
like I said, like everybody has a great story, and I'm just fortunate enough to hear them, and not everybody gets to hear some of the stories that I get to hear, that I get to ask some of the stories that I get to ask.
Yeah.
So like I even feel bad for some of the people that have grandparents that I get to like talk to, for instance, and I get to hear their stories that their grandkids would never even heard of or
Never asked or
the
never
proper-
care to hear.
care to
and
hear. Like, you know what I mean? So with
The
me,
richness of that?
yeah, and like me, I get to like, I'm really fortunate that, you know, I have both my grandparents on my dad's side still alive, and I still get to like call them and talk to them and ask them questions and hear their stories all the time, and you know, I take pleasure in that because it's like I don't know how much time I really have with them.
Yeah.
Because I heard this quote one time, and the guy said, if you have 20 summers or 20 years to live, right, and you go on vacation once a year, how many vacations or how many summers do you really have? Do you have 20 years of vacationing, or do you have 20 opportunities to go for every summer? And
Yeah.
technically 20 times to go to
Yeah.
a specific location to have the specific experience, and that experience is not always going to be the same because not everybody is always going to be there on
Yeah.
that experience.
Exactly.
So I always tell
Got
people
that.
it's like cherish the experiences you have
Yeah.
with the people, because you never know who's really going to be there the next time, because not everybody is going to be there the next time around.
Yeah, I was telling my wife something like that the other day. She was like, it kind of set her back, but it's like, if I see my kids once a year, my two daughters,
Yeah.
32 and 29, let's say I've got 15 years left. That means I get to see them 15 more times.
Yeah.
Whereas when you have them at home, you know, you can see them 15 times in a day.
Exactly.
And,
Totally.
you know, to think the rest of my life I only get to see them 15 times is like, it
Sad.
changes your perspective
For
on
sure.
how valuable that time is when you're with them.
Totally. And I cherish, like, and everybody that I meet, they're kind of like, how do you stay so in the moment? It's because it's like, yo, I'll never know when I'll have another moment with that person, or will I ever hear that story ever again. So why not be present and actually be coherent to hear that story?
Yeah.
Because you never know where the
You know
value-
that other saying is when you live in the past, it generates depression.
Yeah.
And when you live in the future, it generates anxiety.
For sure.
Living in the moment creates
Excitement.
peace and enjoyment.
Yeah, I can see that because it
Yeah.
brings me excitement.
Yeah.
Let me get you a hot towel.
All right. Definitely want to ride that scooter, give it a spin.
You're more than welcome.
Is it hard to balance on?
No, it's easy. You know how to ride a bike. You know?
Have you ridden it around here?
Yeah, not in the shop, but outside for sure.
Why can't you ride it at your shop?
I mean, I could ride it in the shop. I do sometimes.
That'd make for a good video.
I ride it straight out of the door, you know?
Fat Scooters is doing like a video series, and they kind of teamed up with Dixon.
Okay.
Dixon is outdoor clothing store.
Oh, like.
And they took their fat scooters and they were riding all through their clothing show.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
that was one of their episodes.
That's kind
Just getting crazy.
I mean,
was-
you remember those? Remember those hoverboards with
Yeah.
that you could stand on?
Yeah.
Junior actually brought it in a couple of times and actually would like cut hair riding the thing.
Really?
Like no, I'm serious. Like Junior, remember the hoverboard you brought in and you were cutting hair, using it at the same time? He was like sitting there literally like going back and forth with that thing.
You're the guy that cut my hair. That's why my bangs came out crooked.
People trusted you with that? Yeah.
With a straight edge?
Dude, one time that thing, I know, honestly the thing died on him one time. He just straight went forward. He's like, I'm never using this again.
Went backward.
Yeah, I went backwards. Oh no. I love it. No, we try to have some fun here at the barbershop, We keep it definitely interesting.
You do, for sure. You've told me some of the most interesting puppy dog stories I've heard. But just sensing that there's something like that you really like about that story. So
No.
I think there's worth digging deeper in that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. You light up like a light bulb when you talk about it.
Oh, definitely, because I love interesting stories, especially like getting like reactions out of people is the best.
But you got to experience it.
Which
So
part?
you should try the puppy dog thing
Oh
for a while.
no! If I was to try it, I'd definitely be the owner, not the puppy. I'd definitely be the owner, not the puppy.
Well, the joy is in receiving, remember?
I don't know.
Just giving instructions to a puppy dog is selfish.
I know
That's
it is.
giving.
okay,
We just
though.
talked about that earlier.
know.
That's selfish.
It's okay. I'll pick and choose my gifts that I want to give and receive. For sure. I'm turning red.
know.
I'm sweating now.
You know how they always say, like, it's a dog's life. I mean,
Yeah,
who wouldn't
definitely-
want a dog's life?
Yeah, who wouldn't want a doggy dog world out there? That's for sure. It's definitely a doggy dog world out there.
Oh, shoot.
That's like that. That like puts like a whole other meaning to a doggy dog world out there.
It sure does. We're missing out.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
I
for the
appreciate
cut.
it.
All right.
Thank you for the conversation as well. Thank you guys for watching Fabulous Reality, and I hope you guys stay tuned for the next episode.
What you been about? All that time we spent apart, they got me healing now. Yeah, if I think about it, I just write it down. Fuck their thoughts, man, that shit'll never